thrilled to have him here. He's a great guy. Thanks, Larry. Over to you.
Well, it's daunting to come before you guys because I know that I'm in the midst of some excellent teachers and that are committed to learning. And a little bit of background, the options, options to me lots of times are a hook to get the kids. How do you engage kids in the first place? Well, you have to have them on your team. You have to have a relationship with them, and you have to create that. And sat down, we worked it out, and we did. Basically, 3 days, 2 nights, wall tents on the Yahatinda with these kids, along with the ice fishing trips and the trips up and down the Red Deer. Well, last year when they did the grade 9 registrations, 75 of about 78 kids wanted to do wildlife, and of course I was only going to be there 1 semester because of the reputation that developed over 10 years. After you took those kids camping, you owned them. You did, and even the kids you got after out there. All throughout my career, when you first start, of course, you sort of sign that blank statement that says, oh yeah, I'll coach. Well, I was stupid enough to take that seriously because at Cremona I coached just about everything. Helped Eric Dumont with track and helped the basketball, and I ended up coaching basketball throughout the my entire career. And you get to know kids that way. And as Kurt said, I'm an avid outdoorsman, so hunting, fishing at sundry, that's a link to all sorts of kids. I believe that this is the driving force. I believe that you believe in kids first and foremost, before anything else. It's the believing in them that counts. And then you challenge them. And when they can't reach the challenge, then you encourage them in every way possible to strive to that. So I like this, but I think that we got the cart ahead of the horse here. And it doesn't matter, it's just semantics. But the thing is, I believe that you believe in kids first and foremost. And that's where it is. If you are a teacher and that's what you're dedicated to, and many of the giants that went ahead of me and the colleagues that I have now, you believed in kids. That's what you did to start with. And that gets through, as you know, so many things. And how do we challenge them? Well, of course, there's the core, but there's also the personal side of things. You're not just dealing with the academics. It's that child you're raising in the basketball. As the parents said, Nielsen, you're a little bit eccentric on this basketball. We've been just going basketball crazy. These kids aren't going to be in the, NBA. They're not going to even play at college level. I said, it's not about the basketball. It's about what's in here. It's about raising that person. It's about making them a better person. And we all believe that. And so to me, all the things that I did, I enjoyed every minute of it out there. The thing is, the connection with that young man, when he was in school, his mom and dad were going through a divorce. And he was devastated. And he wanted to start shooting and hunting, and I started taking him out and target practicing with him. And we have become unbelievable friends now. But, it started out with a young man that his life was falling apart. And so, how do you put it together for him, And that's the passion that I think you need to have. And every once in a while I get a little silly about it, a little emotional. That's because I raised daughters or something. Anyways, I should have had boys, and then I'd be tougher or something. Anyway, now, challenging these kids. How do we compete with those places where there's all of these white-collar kids that are coming in and they've got advanced placement courses and they've got IB programs? How do I compete with that? How do I give my kids the opportunity to score 100% on the diploma exam when in fact they're competing against these kids that have taken these high-level courses? And at the same time, when you've got a learning challenged girl that I did last year, it's never been identified. never been identified, but she could not take notes off the board. The way she took the notes off here was engage. Every word by word, and she couldn't tell you one concept about what she'd written down after she wrote it down. You could give her the notes ahead of time, and she could follow along, but the same thing. She couldn't tell you what it was. And the kids, even though she's just a fantastic athlete, just a sweetheart of a girl, she wants to be a nurse, she needs chemistry. And I said to her, you know what? I don't know if we can get you through chemistry. Maybe if we do it twice. No, I gotta get it. And she's one of the most fantastic athletes you'll ever see, but unbelievable problems in learning. And I had a really strong advantage because my wife was in special ed in elementary for years, and she helped smarten me up quite a little bit about those kids to be able to recognize it and figure out her learning style. Well, this young lady, the only thing that she could do was to sit down and read it and work through examples, but mainly it was working through examples and struggle, and it just made you, you know, you were so empathetic for her because it was work, work, work. She's just beating it up to finally get it figured out. Once she got it, she was okay. But how are you going to get her to perform on a diploma exam? You know, every class had an agreement. I don't know, I always sign a pact with my kids from 9 to all the way up. And lots of people don't believe in this. But lots of young teachers do, and I can point out one right back there. I am available from 6:30 every morning until 10 o'clock every night. All right? And that was by phone to arrange. I am the tutor, not anybody else. If you're one of my kids, I'm your tutor. All right? And I don't know how many times Connie would look out the window and say, who just drove in? And I said, I think it's some chemistry students coming for help. You know, and lots of people don't want to do that. But I was very much involved in our community. And you know what? At this stage of the game, I taught a bunch of the parents. So the thing is, I said, I am available. They're good at it. They'll phone and say, Mr. Nielsen, I'm having trouble with this. Because I held them accountable. The next morning, when we went in, and in the morning class, and I love teaching chemistry 30 first thing in the morning because our classes started at 8:30, I started at 10 to 8. And the quiz was on the board. These are the quiz questions for today. But they came in and they worked on them. And they would say, I didn't understand that yesterday. I go, oh, it's in here. No, it isn't. I left it in the trunk. Cell phone. I go, I don't have any record of you calling me. Well, no. You were supposed to text me or call me that you had problems, and if you didn't do your job. How can I do my job if you didn't do your job? And they got so good at it. Jesse, up the ante one. He told me, because he's more of a technology kind of guy, so you know what he does? They do exactly the same thing. He says, oh, take a picture with your camera of your work and send it to me. And I'll see where you went wrong. That's awesome. That's unbelievable because it holds them accountable. Oh, blank page? No, it didn't come through on the camera. You must not have done that. And now, the thing is, it's nice with the text because you can just turn it off and check it in the morning. You know, it's not like the phone ringing because I've had calls at 11:30, 12 o'clock with, you know, the super paranoid kids that, you know, I got to get it done and they can't figure it out. And I never, ever, you know, so what if they phone then? I can get back to sleep easily. So I really think that believing in these kids and encouraging them is really important to being successful with them. Where did I learn to be passionate? Really, I've done nothing but stand on the shoulders of giants, you know, because the people that had gone before him had done things like that. And I look at the colleagues, the people who were ahead of me. I think of a teacher that went through our division, Carol Grant, and she started teaching a world history class. Okay, that's what I thought. Wow, world history for an option? You're going to teach that compared to aviation? You know what? It didn't matter whether it was world history or whether it was world geography. Within a year, the entire student body, they had to have 3 of them because they were all signing up to go to her class. All right? And she expected a lot of work. But she had a passion to teach. And she did. And the kids just flocked into her classes so that they could learn from her. it didn't matter. It's not the passion about your subject. It's the passion about teaching. And I think that that's really important. And as a chemist, you have an unbelievable number of tools available to you to help build that. Now, this was cotton balls for cleaning your makeup off yesterday. Now, I have to get the pure cotton, okay? You can't get synthetic. But with a little nitric acid, okay? And I better get the box out of the road here. With a little nitric acid and sulfuric acid, which is a highly dangerous pair of acids to deal with, you can change it from being mildly flammable to being a little more flammable. Okay? So the thing is, when you catch kids' attention, you know, sometimes it takes a little more than that. Okay? So if you're teaching physics, well, first of all, I teach it because I teach gas laws. Charles' law says if you heat a gas, what does it do? It expands. All right? And what's an explosion? It's expanding gas. All right? So I got to create a bit of a fuse here. Okay? Now this stuff is so explosive. This stuff is this nitrocellulose. It's cotton. It's cotton, and it's a close cousin to TNT, trinitrotoluene, which is dynamite, or nitroglycerin, which is a bigger explosive. This is nitrocellulose, and if you teach it, it's a reaction in organic chemistry where we take off the alcohols off of cellulose and we put on nitro groups. And anytime you nitrate something, it's going to make it oxidize much more quickly. It's a good oxidizer. Okay? So I can't have my I don't think I'll light anything on fire. But, okay, I can't do this with my hands, without using my hands. So everybody else, cover your ears. And can I set it on the table? I don't.
I don't know.
Are we ready?
Okay.
Cover your ears.
I can only cover one.
And yeah, you might, but I'll shield you. Okay? Now, worst possible scenario, nothing happens. I have this one as well. Now, one of my colleagues, when I went to teach, or when I went to work for Shell, they hired a young lady, and she did this when I had showed it to her, and she didn't listen as well as she should have. And so as she's lighting it, she put her fingers over it like that. Okay? Now, yeah, it's not a good thing to do. She had to get some work done. So, she burned her fingers a little bit. Anyways, it's the vapor that ignites, okay? So the liquid in there doesn't matter. It's the vapor. Okay, can we kill the lights in here?
Yep.
What did I do with my light? Did I put it in my shirt pocket? I did too. Gotta light it up, you know? Okay, now you can do it with a match, but it's best if your finger's a little ways away. Let it go. Okay?
That's great.
So you can turn the light back on. Now, the thing is, now the kids will say, oh, can you do it again? Can you do it again? No. Why? No oxygen and filled up with carbon dioxide. Some fire extinguishers have carbon dioxide, so it's not going to reignite. You'll get a little bit if you leave it set for a while, but you basically have to let it set for a day. So the thing is, as a chemistry teacher, you have those tools all the time to catch kids' attention.